Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Carlos, and welcome back to Brooklyn Fragrance Lover. Please welcome Steven back to BFL.
How's it going, everybody? Thank you for tuning in.
Today, we're going to review for you from Hermes, Terre de Hermes Parfum. Keep it right there.
Brooklyn Fragrance Lover. Brooklyn Fragrance Lover.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty well. Thank you for having me over. Really appreciate
Thanks
that.
for coming, making the trip to Brooklyn. Terre de Hermes.
Yeah.
It's a very well-known fragrance.
Mm-hmm.
The first one came out in 2006, the Eau de Toilette, which is this one. I've gone through most of the bottle, as you can see.
Yeah.
I've had a decant of the Parfum, which came out in 2009 for a while, and as you can see, I used quite a bit of it as well.
Yeah, definitely.
The Eau Très Fraîche came out in 2014, and there's a bunch of other flankers. It has like about a dozen.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well.
You know, different special edition, the year or whatever. But these are the three that I own. I finally went for this one because I did enjoy this one. I didn't like the fragrance at first.
Okay.
I had it, I used it, never got any compliments, never was one of those fragrances where I absolutely loved it. One day a man walked into my store, a Russian man, and he smelled like amazing, like I'd never smelled anything before. I was like, what are you wearing, Terre de Hermes? And that's probably when I started wearing it more, and then probably appreciating it more. You also have a story with this one.
I do. It's not my story personally, but a good friend of ours, Edward Frunkinator. He told me one time he smelled somebody who was wearing Terre de Hermes, and he was in a very crisp suit, and he was not a fan of it. But he said after smelling it that day, he finally understood the scent. And there's just something about the citrus. It comes across so refined. And Jean-Claude Elena, let's say, he is such an accomplished perfumer, really impressive resume. And he has done so much for the House of Hermes.
He's done so much for me. He named my cats.
Yeah, that's true. Jean.
Hang on 1 second. Yes,
sure.
Jean-Claude.
Yeah.
I need a tester, which I forgot.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. So you actually ran through a lot of this. The Parfum, the Eau de Toilette. Wow.
Do you have preferences yourself?
So I only own one concentration, which I believe is the Eau de Toilette.
Okay.
I think as far as the smell is concerned, they smell rather similar to one another, but I actually like that about Hermes. And this is not just something that they've limited to Terre de Hermes, but also Voyage de Hermes. They have the Eau de Toilette and the Eau de Parfum, so I really like that.
So this has grapefruit, orange, flint, woodsy notes, oak moss, and benzoin.
Okay.
And I believe ISO is super. It's not listed, but there's definitely a very long-lasting woody base about this.
Mm-hmm.
It smells exactly like this to me, but it's not as diffusive.
Okay.
It's fuller, if you will. But I just feel that this is better for colder weather, and this is better for warmer weather.
Ah, okay. I can see that too.
And I have to be totally transparent. I don't get citrus. I keep seeing all the citrus comments. I get a little bit of citrus, but to me, this vetiver, again, that wasn't listed in the notes, but I get vetiver and I get woody, earthy fragrance for a long time that stays that way.
I too think it's mostly about the vetiver. So the vetiver really stands out. It cuts through. And I wouldn't compare it to like a Mugler Cologne or Encre Noir. It's in a family of its own. And I think it is accompanied by some of the woodsy notes and the resins, the benzoin. But sure enough, if I were to say that there's one note that really powers through everything, it is definitely the vetiver.
And to be even more transparent, vetiver is definitely not one of my favorite notes. There are a handful of fragrances that feature vetiver that I love. The Guerlain one that you love.
Oh, yeah.
And this one is one of my favorite. If I ever do a top vetiver fragrances in my taste, at my taste level, this is
right up
these
there.
are all on it.
Yep. So how does it compare to Eau Très Fraîche?
This is much. It's more citrus. It's the most citric one to my nose, and how it wears on my skin as well. And it's more sparkly than these.
Yeah, totally agree. There's something about the Hermes DNA where if it's part of the Hermescence line or if it's part of the Un Jardin line, there's something in the background looming that you can tell it's a Jean-Claude Elena composition. And it's interesting that you mentioned that you would wear one variety in the colder weather because when people smell them, they're usually so bright and pseudo-ethereal where you think it's going to... Like you said, it's diffusive and people can smell it, but it sticks around.
A lot of his work I find to be very smooth and easy, but there's just something that
carries
shines.
it forward.
Yeah. like you think you can't call it a transparent light fragrance because it's really not. And sometimes others smell it better than you.
Yeah.
This kind of falls into that category, especially the Parfum version. You're not going to smell it as much as you will this on yourself.
Yeah.
But others will. And this lasts a long time on my skin. I get a good 6 hours. Projection for about 2, where I can smell it, and then after that, it's the walk by at work comments by people. Ooh, you smell nice. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's
And you're like, wow, you can still smell that?
yeah. But it's never a you smell great. Oh my god, it's never one of those. But it's always a like that like ah.
Yeah.
You know?
It catches people's attention. So for me, what I always associate with eau de parfum is a fragrance that's not going to be as loud, but it's going to stick around longer because it's the alcohol that really allows the fragrance to jump up off the skin and evaporate. So the Terre d'Ir, I actually co-sign what you just said. One of them you would wear in the colder weather, one in the hotter weather. So the eau de parfum I would wear in the colder weather as well. But Ultra Fresh, let's not forget that one. That is great.
This is going to be a staple on my top 10 list.
Jeez, yeah, I still need to purchase that one. I'm gonna have to get that one.
I'll trade you. Have anything to trade? No, I don't want it. I like it. I like it. No, you can have it.
It's a full bottle too?
It is?
No, it's missing a good, 5 ml,
Yeah,
10 ml?
there you go.
Yeah.
So that's our presentation of Terre d'Hermès Parfum from
Good stuff.
2009.
Really good stuff.
I would love to fill this one back up with more of it and send it to one lucky subscriber. All you have to do is subscribe to Brooklyn Fragrance Lover, subscribe to Steven, like and share this video, then leave a comment down below with what your favorite version of Terre d'Hermès is. If you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. And if you have been watching, click on that stupid bell already because you gotta get notifications
Just do
on
it. Just do it.
reviews and content and guests and giveaways and sometimes party night or game night with
Yeah.
you gotta watch
was a
that
fun
video. That was a lot of fun. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you at the next review.
Take care, guys.